Secrets of Silverpine Academy, narrated by Olga Baciu. Author Liubimciki and Olga Baciu. I'm Olga. This book was written with the help of GPT-4. Chapter 3. Secrets of the Past. Lily sat at the edge of her bed, the locket she'd always worn, a gift from her grandmother, resting heavy in her palm. The silver was tarnished. The intricate engravings of flora and fauna wrapping around it seemed to pulse with a warmth she couldn't explain. Today she noticed a slight irregularity in the pattern, a small section that didn't quite align. As she fiddled with the locket, it clicked open unexpectedly, not to reveal a photograph, as one might expect, but a small, cleverly hidden compartment. Inside, folded delicately, was a faded map and several aged letters, the handwriting elegant yet hurried. Each letter began with, "To my dearest," and spoke of a hidden legacy, a lineage of women who whispered to the wind and called to the earth, guardians of an ancient pact. Lily's heart raced as she absorbed the words, the air in her small dorm room feeling suddenly thick. She was not merely a girl with a strange affinity for nature. She was part of something much larger, something her grandmother had shielded her from, to keep her safe from a destiny that called through generations. Meanwhile, across campus, Ethan faced his own revelations. In the dim light of his father's study, he discovered a series of journals that dated back centuries. These were not ordinary books, but detailed accounts of the guardians of the supernatural, protectors of the balance between the natural and the mystical realms. His father, it seemed, had been part of this secretive group, a fact never shared with Ethan. The latest entries were disturbing, hinting at rising threats that sought to tip this balance. And Ethan's role in these forthcoming trials was underlined with a sense of urgency. His ability to manipulate time wasn't a random quirk of fate. It was a bestowed power meant for a guardian. The weight of this heritage bore down on him, the shadows of the study seeming to loom larger, filled with the ghosts of decisions and duties passed down through the bloodline. As the evening wore on, Lily walked the paths of Silverpine Academy under the cloak of twilight, the whispers of the earth more insistent around her. She clutched the locket, the cool metal grounding her, as the reality of her lineage wove itself into her identity. Ethan, needing to clear his mind, found himself drawn to the garden where he first really spoke with Lily. He found her there, not tending to the plants, but standing still among them, a figure torn between the life she planned and the life that awaited her. Their eyes met, and without a word, they understood that their pasts were not just their own, but intertwined with secrets and duties far beyond the mundane boundaries of the Academy's stone walls. In the silence, a bond formed, not just of friendship, but of shared destiny. "Lily," Ethan began, his voice low, hesitant, "I think we're here for reasons bigger than us, bigger than anything we've ever imagined." Lily nodded, her eyes reflecting the moonlight, the silver locket glinting at her throat. "I know. I found something today, Ethan, something that changes everything." Together, they shared their discoveries, the maps, the letters, the ancient journals, each piece a part of a larger puzzle they were only just beginning to understand. As the night deepened, so did their resolve to face whatever came their way, united by the secrets of their past and the uncertain promise of their future. The garden around them seemed to listen, the ancient trees whispering approval, as if the earth itself had been waiting for them to find each other, to find themselves in the hidden truths of their lineage. As the moon climbed higher, casting silvery shadows through the leaves, Lily and Ethan sat on a worn stone bench, their earlier discoveries laid out between them like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle waiting to be solved. The air was thick with the scent of night-blooming flowers, their perfume mingling with the earthy dampness of the garden soil. Lily traced her finger over the map, pointing to a marked spot. "According to this letter, there's a grove not far from here, guarded by the elders of the wood. It's supposed to be a place of power, a sanctuary where my ancestors communicated directly with the earth's spirit." Ethan leaned over to look closer, his finger pausing over an entry in one of his father's journals. "And here," he said, his voice tinged with awe, "it mentions the same grove, but refers to it as a timeless realm, a place where all moments converge. It's said to be a testing ground for the guardians." The connections were too direct to be coincidental. They realized that their destinies were not just aligned, they were intricately linked, woven together by the very forces they were only beginning to understand. "Do you think we're supposed to go there?" Lily asked, her voice a mix of curiosity and caution. Ethan nodded slowly, his usual confidence tempered by the gravity of their situation. "Yes. I think whatever answers we're looking for, whatever part of our heritage we're meant to accept and embrace, it starts there." Determined, they planned to visit the grove at first light, aware that the journey they were about to embark on was no ordinary field trip, but a rite of passage dictated by their newfound legacies. Morning found them at the edge of the forest that bordered Silverpine Academy, the first rays of the sun filtering through the dense canopy, casting patterns of light and shadow on the forest floor. The grove wasn't marked on any modern map, its location known only through the ancient texts they now carried with them. As they walked, the forest seemed to acknowledge their presence, the trees swaying slightly even though there was no wind, the path ahead occasionally clearing as if inviting them deeper into its heart. Finally, they reached the grove, a circle of towering old trees, their branches intertwined, leaves whispering secrets. The air inside was still, as if time itself paused here, respecting the sanctity of the place. Ethan and Lily stepped into the circle together, their hands almost touching, their senses heightened to every shift and sigh of the natural world around them. As they reached the center, the ground vibrated softly under their feet, the pulse of the earth resonating with the locket and the journals, a silent acknowledgement of their rightful place in this legacy. "Do you feel that?" Lily whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. "It's like the heartbeat of the world," Ethan replied, equally in awe. Suddenly the air shimmered around them, and visions began to coalesce. Shadowy figures of the past guardians, echoes of ancient ceremonies, and whispers of timeless battles fought to maintain the balance between the natural and supernatural. Lily and Ethan watched, spellbound, as the history of their ancestors unfolded before them, a living tapestry of courage, sacrifice, and power. It was overwhelming, but also inspiring. They were not just heirs to these secrets, they were its next guardians. When the visions finally faded, they found themselves changed, not just by the knowledge they had gained, but by the acceptance of their roles. They were guardians, bound by blood and spirit, to protect the balance they had only just begun to understand. As they left the grove, the forest seemed to bow, the trees bending slightly as they passed, an ancient respect paid to the new keepers of its secrets. Back at the academy, the world appeared the same, but for Lily and Ethan, everything had changed. They carried with them not just the secrets of their past, but the responsibility for the future, their steps measured, their purpose clear. Their journey had only just begun, but together they stepped forward, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, guardians, not just of Silverpine, but of the delicate balance that kept the world itself in check.